So today we're just continuing to talk about when you got part of something. We can measure that with fractions, decimals, or percentages. So I've got a little grid here. Some of the homework will have things set up in a little grid for you where they're going to ask you a series of questions. So if I give you a fraction, somebody tell me how can we identify from looking at a fraction the parts in all? Where do we look? Denominator. What's the denominator mean? It's the number that's on the bottom. So if we look to the denominator, look to the bottom, that's going to tell us the parts in all. So if I start talking about 5/7, that tells you there's how many parts in all? 7. How can we tell from a fraction the parts counted? The numerator. What does the numerator mean? Where do we find that? Numerator is the top. So if I'm saying 5/7, parts counted, you're going to say 5. How could we figure out then the parts not counted?
Subtract 5 from 7.
Subtract 5 from 7. So this answer would be 2, but in general we could always do the bottom minus the top. Bottom minus the top will do that for us. We've done that before, just never presented quite in this way. Question about fraction time. Okay, so for decimals, switch gears. If I start talking to you about decimals, which is going to happen on the next 3, what about a decimal tells you the parts in all?
I'm on the right.
Maybe.
What decimal place it is?
Place value. The place value is going to tell you the parts that you have in all when you're looking at a decimal. So for 0.3, what's the place value? That's out of 10. 0.41 is out of 100. 0.267 is out of 1,000. Remember too, we had a trick we've done other days. If there's 3 digits, go for 3 zeros in your place number. 2 digits, 2 zeros, etc. How can you figure out how many of those parts are counted for a decimal? Go to this one and double back if we need to. There's 10 parts in all. How many got counted? Yeah, what the number is. Just grab the number. Whatever the number is, just grab it. So this is telling us out of 10 we got 3. Out of 100 we got 41. Out of 1,000 we got 267. So how can you figure out who got left out again? Subtract again. So 10 take away 3 leaves you 7. This one would leave you 9. This one would leave you
733.
little borrowing to get 733. Question about decimal length. Okay, percent length. Parts in all. What do you think? Yeah, it's always something.
100.
100. % is always out of 100. How would you know your parts counted?
By how much it shows, like 1%, 2%.
Yeah, just take the number again. And as we've done in every other category to figure out who got left out,
The part that is off 1,000%.
we're going to have to do what though to get it? What math will we do? We're going to subtract again. So if I say 3%, there's parts in all, 100, counted, 3, left out, 97. 94%, in all, 100, counted,
94.
left out,
6.
6. Question about doing that? Then we're going to go another bump, so if we can slide me, thank you. This is the same kind of question we did a few days ago in Set CC. We took a quiz on this. There was a day that I gave you fraction here. There was a day I gave you decimals there. Today I'm giving you a percentage there. You're just going to change 17% into what fraction? 17 over 100. And then we could repeat the exact same kind of recipe that we were doing the other day. This was the day we got a little silly because I let you pick a noun and then I let you pick anything you could do with that noun. We created like sentences and just made silly stuff. They could do that today. This is going to have a noun. There's going to have to be something we can do with that noun. Well, Parts in all for this story, either tell me the number or tell me where that came from. Parts in all, how are we doing that?
100.
It'd be 100 for this one. How do we always get that one? Parts in all is always the bottom, just grab the bottom. The items in every part
100.
won't be 100.
No, I mean like 100 into 2.
Oh, 100 into 200. We're always gonna do the bottom
One is the top.
into the number that we have. So here we have 100. Divide into 200, how many apiece?
2.
2 apiece. Parts counted?
17.
17. How do we always just grab that one?
Top.
Top, just grab the top. So if items then counted, there's 17 parts, they're coming in pairs. How did we do that one?
24.
It is 34, how'd you do that?
Multiply the second number times the
We
third.
multiply the 2 times the 17, the second answer times the third answer. It's gonna make that answer. Left outs, who are the parts left out?
3.
Second opinion, parts left out,
83.
how'd you do that?
I just subtracted the 100 left.
Yeah, we're going bottom minus top. The 100 minus the 17 gets us an 83. So then how many items does that make? We got 83 piles.
176.
Close.
Oh. Oh, 166.
166.
I put a number too.
Yep, that's fine. How'd you do that?
I did the second number times the fifth number.
Second number times the fifth number. Second number told us there were 2 in every pile, and now there's 83 piles. So multiply that, it's 166. What check did we have? We had a way we could check this to make sure we had it. Anybody remember a way we could use these numbers to do a quick check? Had to do with these two.
Had we?
If we add them up, what do these two add up to make?
200.
How do we know that's a good thing?
Because it's the
It's up there.
items.
We should add up stuff that either was or wasn't counted. So if we add those up, it should make the original number that we had. I could do another series of that. That's helpful if you remember that from before. It hasn't really changed. It's the same recipe. If you want to jot down the recipe, do it, or take a picture of the recipe, that's fine. If you've lost your recipe and you want to either write it or picture it, I'm good either way. I don't remember if this is the set finally where they tinker with the order, so just be aware. Sometime this year, I know the book for sure, instead of going parts, items, parts, items, parts, items, they scramble it up. So if you see them go parts, 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 items, 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 or parts, items, parts, parts, items, items, or something. They don't always take turn with that order. Sometimes they scramble. Let's just be aware of that.
Take a picture.
Yeah, you can take a picture. No problem with that. So we're going 2 places for homework. There's a 192 letters. The 192 letters is like this. The 192 letters has like a chart all laid out for you to identify parts in all, parts counted, parts not counted. Then there's a set DD. Set DD is like this. It's going to have 4 of these questions. So you could either look at it as 4 questions or 24 questions, I guess. But they're going to come in these groups of 6. Set DD talking about percentages. And that's our day. Can you hit stop on the machine there? Thank you.